Here's what voting yes on 35 means.
No, we're not doing that today.
Their bench. I brought it up. It was Exhibit 37NN that the hashtag, there was a hashtag on that exhibit that said Free Quay, which would definitely indicate to the jury that Quay, has spent time in jail or in prison. The state agreed. We stipulated that they would redact it. And then the state presented, I guess, to the witness the unredacted version, didn't prep him to not comment on it, and he did. And, Your Honor, before we had the opportunity for you to preside over us, this happened already again. And I made a motion for a mistrial. Now it's happened again. So now the jury has repeatedly heard about Mr. Nichols being in jail, being in prison, and you cannot unring that bell. We would ask for a mistrial.
Your Honor, Carter Matthews for Mr. Marquavius Huey. We join in that motion for mistrial. And what's important for this court to know is that 45 minutes ago, there had been a reference to a person being in jail. Now, this witness has identified Marquavius Huey and has also identified Marquavius Nichols. So all the state had to do was ask this honorable court for an opportunity to have this witness maybe step out of the courtroom and go over with that witness that, we don't need to say anything about someone in jail, what have you. That did not happen before. he went on the stand, nor after that first slip up by this witness. There may have even been a document right there on the witness stand that should have been pulled from the state of Georgia from that witness stand so that this could have been avoided. So, Your Honor, we are joining in that motion as well.
Oh, hang on. It's all right. You just didn't know, but we'll let you know when to come back in, okay?
So we join in that motion, Your Honor.
Your Honor, and I just want to briefly add that it is painfully obvious that the state is not prepping their witnesses. You can tell by the way when the witness spoke the first time and he said, oops, am I not supposed to say that? Like, oh, I had no idea, which makes it obvious that the state had not spoke to him, had not prepped them, and this has happened repeatedly. It's happening over and over again, Your Honor, and we're just not going to be able to unring 100 bells.
And finally, Your Honor, Mr. Marquavius Huey, it's been established that that his nickname is Quay.
Okay. Isn't there going to be, we talked today about, isn't there going to be a stipulation that references to Quay, at least at some points, are not either Mr. Nichols or Mr. Huey? We did.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's a few things. So, one, Your Honor, it was not intentional because we clearly...
Okay, but it was sloppy because I presume he's reading from the document that you handed him instead of reading from the screen.
And we should have instructed him to read from the screen, but...
Or you should have presented him with a document that had that part redacted. It's just sloppy.
The issue came while he was on the stand, Your Honor. So the issue did not come prior to. Ms. Westmoreland walked up to me while he was on the stand and said, I'm going to have an issue with that. Can you redact it? That is when the state became aware.
Then it should have occurred to you, you know what? I'm handing him a hard copy of this document that is unredacted.
But not if there's multiple Quays, Your Honor. If I don't know which Quay that.
Hang on. Can we stop having people come in and out when I've asked the witness to step out and every time the door opens, they can hear what we're talking about? Please, just for a few seconds. I'm not asking anybody who's in here to leave. God have mercy, y'all. Huh?
The state is in charge of the witness, and they're supposed to be guiding the witness to the wrong.
And so that is the point in which we learned of it is we redacted it on here. Ms. Westmoreland brought it up here.
Yeah, and you didn't read it. So the jury didn't see it, but now the jury has heard it. I don't think it is really that, much of a crisis because there is going to be this stipulation that Quay is not always either of these defendants. So, nor is it obvious to everybody that free whomever is such a quote about who knows, everything these days. And so it doesn't necessarily indicate that whomever Quay spent time in jail or in custody or in prison or anything. They say it about, Hollywood stars who are in a breakup. It's not so obviously, oh, this must mean this person was in prison. But also we were already saying Quay isn't either of these people. So let's just, and whether this was one of these people or I don't even know who it did refer to.
And we don't know because it's not his post. He was reading someone else's post. So it could be a multitude of Quays.
You talked to his attorney earlier, right?
Yes.
And did you get any kind of an indication? I don't know if this was one of the things you were going to, but it's an issue now. And you said before lunch that you were going to ask Mr. Rubin.
Yes, we did ask.
Do you know at this point whether the free Quay reference, this wasn't even his post, was it?
It wasn't. And it wasn't an issue until so when I talked to Mr. Rubin at lunchtime, this wasn't something I was going to address with him because it wasn't I did not realize it was an issue. Mr. Rubin found out for me that Slat Quay is not either of these two Quays.
Okay, but this isn't Slat Quay. This is just Quay.
Right.
I know. So why doesn't everybody, well, they don't know how it's spelled. They only heard it. Why doesn't everybody just enter into some sort of a stipulation that the free Quay or the reference to Quay just now isn't either of these people?
I don't know if it is. So it was.
What?
Real quick, that was just a clip.
Adam Gray understands. Good.
No, Adam Gray. Yo, testing.
Thank you. Mr. Sledge, when was the last time that you spoke with Shannon Stillwell or SB?
2022.
What was your relationship like in 2022, the last time that you spoke with him?
Good times.
All right. Since 2022, has anything soured the way you feel about Mr. Stillwell?
No.
I asked you if you know a person by the name of Rodelius Ryan. I failed to ask you if you know a person who goes by the name Lil Rod.
I heard him. He's very young than me, so
Okay.
you know.
Do you recognize that person to be in the courtroom today? If you just look around.
Yes.
All right. Would you describe what he's wearing for the jury and describe his
He
seating
was
position?
sitting between the lady with the white hair and the one with the dreads.
Your Honor, would the record please reflect that the witness has identified Rodelius Ryan?
It'll so reflect.
Thank you. Now, when did you first meet Rodelius Ryan, or Little Rod, as you know him?
We never really had a personal conversation or nothing like that.
How was it that you came to know of him?
Just in a certain area, like the Cleveland Avenue area.
When you say in the Cleveland Avenue area, is that the area that you grew up in?
No, I used to go to the park in Cleveland Avenue.
What park on Cleveland Avenue?
Cleveland Avenue Park.
Now, Cleveland Avenue Park, do you call it anything other than Cleveland Avenue Park?
No.
And when you say you used to go to the park and you met Mr. Ryan in that area, what was the occasion?
I used to go over there and play basketball, shoot basketball.
Did you play basketball with Mr. Ryan?
No.
Okay. So what were the circumstances that you got to know who Lil Rod is?
Just by people saying his name.
And who was it that introduced you to or told you who
They
Lil
never,
Rod is?
them never was introduced to each other.
Okay. Is it then fair to say you don't know him very well at all?
No.
All right. Please tell the jury how well you know Quindarius Zachary.
I've been knowing Quindarius Zachary since he was a child.
How old is the child?
I don't recall on that.
Fair enough. Do you recall generally about how old you were when you first met?
I was young too.
15, 16?
Yeah, right, probably around that age.
Okay. And did you all ever go to high school or anything like that together?
No, he from the same apartments I'm from.
Which are?
Capitol Home.
Are you older than, younger than, or the same age as Mr. Zachary?
I'm
Because the
way,
jury didn't know.
I'm way older than Zachary.
All right. Do you know about how many years older?
No, I don't know exactly how old Zachary is.
Now, you being from the same apartments, what circumstances did you have to get to know someone that much younger than you?
I know his mother and his father.
Were you friends with Mr. Zachary's mother or his father? Either of them. Were you friends?
Me and his father not friends, but I know of him.
Okay. At some point, did you socialize with Quindarius Zachary?
Yeah, he watched me grow up. He played basketball and stuff with me.
Are you closer to him than his parents, or were you closer to his parents than him when you were growing up?
I say his parents.
And which parent were you the closest to?
The father.
All right. Are you no longer close?
We don't have a problem. I just don't see him. He just don't be where I be at.
All right. What about Demikion Garlington? How long have you known him?
Since he was a child, too.
As between Quindarius Zachary and Demikion Garlington, are they around the same age, or is one older than the other?
I think they're around the same age.
So it's safe to say that you're considerably older than Demikion Garlington, too?
Yes.
How did you come to know Demikion Garlington?
I know his mama when she first had him.
Fair enough. How old were you then?
She probably like 2, 3 years older than me, so she had him at a very young age.
Okay.
So we probably was she probably was in high school, I was in middle school.
So were you friends with his mom, or were you...
Me and his mother's very close.
Did your relationship with Mr. Garlington's mom sort of spill into a closeness between you and Mr. Garlington, or do you all not have as close a relationship as you do with his...
Could you repeat what you said?
Yes. Do you have the same type of close relationship with Mr. Garlington that you had or have with his mother?
Yes.
What about Kenneth Copeland or Woody? How well do you know him?
I probably met Copeland probably like 2014.
And under what circumstances did you meet Kenneth Copeland?
We had a debate. Disagreement.
You and Mr. Copeland had a disagreement?
Yes.
What year?
I want to say 2014.
Are you comfortable telling the jury what that disagreement was about?
It wasn't that serious. If that's what you said.
Just asking what it was about.
I don't recall what it was about.
So if you first met him when you all had a disagreement, how did you come to learn about the thing y'all disagreed over?
Well, repeat that.
Yeah. You just told the jury, correct me where I'm wrong.
Not object to relevance, 401, 402.
Your Honor, I'm asking him about his relationship with certain people that are very relevant here in this indictment.
All right, I'll overrule it.
Would you tell the jury how it was that you came to meet Mr. Copeland over a disagreement? What happened?
I don't remember exactly what happened, so I just knew I remember we had a disagreement.
What kind of disagreement?
It was just like an argument.
Now, is it that you came in contact with him, you met him, and immediately you all started, like, arguing with one another? Or something you heard? Help me out.
Relevance again.
I'm assuming...
Judge, I'm just getting to his relationship with Mr. Copeland, and I'm going to segue into what it is now, but I'm asking for this witness to tell the jury to elaborate on something he testified about as it relates to a witness or a person of interest in this case.
All right, well, it doesn't sound from his responses so far like he recalls, so I'll let you ask it this one more way because you're saying that it's relevant. But if the answer's, similar to the last one, we're just going to need to move on.
I will. Thank you. Do you recall anything at all about how you and Mr. Copeland met beyond that it was over a disagreement?
I don't recall.
Did the disagreement last? In other words, did you get over it?
Yeah, we right then on the spot.
Okay. And so how would you describe your relationship with Mr. Copeland?
You said now or then?
Starting with after you got over the disagreement, what was your relationship like?
Man, it was cordial.
Since different people may have different definitions of cordial, would you explain to the jury what you mean?
We had a good relationship.
Were you as close with Mr. Copeland as you were with Sequindaria Zachary?
I treated all of them equal, so like I don't treat no one better than I treat the other.
When you say all of them, who are you talking about?
You just said Zachary and Copeland. Okay. Both of those two.
Just those two?
Yes.
All right. Would you please tell the jury how well you know Yak or Diamante Kendrick?
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda, no, not today. Free endorsements, Esmeralda. So, Love is going in on Mook Took. And he seems to be handling it pretty well. It's really not too much yet. Let's follow along.
How good do I know him?
Yes.
I know him as a great person, a good person. I know we have a good relationship.
Tell the jury when you first met Mr. Kendrick.
I want to say around 2013, 14, something like that.
Where did you first meet him? Under what circumstances?
I want to say, can I say it was at a party or something, and somebody introduced him to me, but I don't recall who introduced him to me.
Did you all hit it off right away?
We built a relationship.
Are you all close in terms of age? Or are you older or younger than Mr. Kendrick?
I think I'm older than Mr. Kendrick too. Probably about 10 years or so.
What about Mr. Greer, Quintavious Greer, or Unfunk? How well do you know him?
I personally met Mr. Greer when he got out 2019.
Was that the first time that you came to know Unfunk?
Yes.
Had you heard of him before then?
Yes, I heard him.
Okay. And what kind of relationship did you have with Mr. Greer in 2019?
When I got out 2019 too, so when we started seeing each other, we built a great relationship.
Mr. Williams, would you tell the jury how well you know Jeffrey Williams?
I know Jeffrey Williams great. I know personally, yes.
How long have you known Mr. Williams?
About 15 years.
How did you come to know Mr. Williams?
When I started going to the park on Cleveland Avenue playing basketball.
Are you older than him, younger, or around the same age? As to Jeffrey Williams?
Yes.
And would you describe your relationship when you first met? Was it good? As good as it is now?
Me and Jeffrey always, once I met Jeffrey, we had a great relationship.
Did you hang out with Jeffrey Williams?
He was rapping at the time, so yeah, I used to go to a couple of the shows, supporting.
Now you say 15 years ago. Around what year was that, if you recall?
Probably 2009.
What shows of his did you go to around 2009?
Nightclubs, teenager club, nightclubs.
Did you get to know his family as well?
Yes,
Have you been to Mr. Williams' house?
yes.
How often would you say you visited him at his home?
A lot.
Do you know his mother
Yes,
and do you know his father?
yes.
Are you close with either one of them?
We have a good relationship.
How frequently do you talk to Mr. Williams' mother?
I ain't talked to her in a minute.
How frequently do you speak with Mr. Williams' father?
Not frequently.
Were you here at the courthouse yesterday?
Yes,
Did you speak with Mr. Williams' father yesterday?
yes.
How long would you say you spoke with him?
I can't say.
Was it more than just a hi and bye?
No.
So you said hello, he said hello, and you all parted ways? You may answer.
Because you repeated.
Yes. You said it was no more than a hi and bye. So you said hello.
I never said that. You said that. I told
Thank
you.
you.
I told you that we had a conversation yesterday. I couldn't recall how long was the conversation.
Okay. So it went past hello. It was that you all stood and talked for a while.
Yes.
Did you all at any point discuss this case?
No.
Did you come to know Dora and Dolly Greer through Defendant Williams, or did you learn of them some other way?
I learned through Mr. Williams.
Is it fair to say you met them all, his whole family, around the same time?
Yes.
And your relationship with Dora and Dolly, are they the same as your relationship with Mr. Williams?
Why wouldn't it be though? Yes.
Thank you. Of all the people that I've just asked you about, who is it that you've known the longest?
I met them all about around the same time.
And of all the people that I just asked you about, is there any one that you are closer to than any other?
To me, I'm close to all three of them.
Now, we talked about Quindarius Zachary, Demikion Garlington, Kenneth Copeland, Jeffrey Williams, Quintavious Greer, Shannon Stillwell, and Diamante Kendrick, as well as Dolly and Dora Greer. When you say all three, what do you mean?
You asked me about Dora, Dolly, and Jeffrey just like you asked me. Now you're talking about all of them. So where you getting at?
You're right. I'm asking you about all of the people that I've asked you about today. Of all of those people, who are you closest to?
I wouldn't say I'm closer than that. One of them, I have a great relationship with all of them. I wouldn't divide none of them, put them like that.
Fair enough.
I feel the same way about one that I feel about the other.
With respect to Mr. Marquavius Huey and Quamarvius Nichols, you said you know of them only, right?
Yes.
How did you learn of those two gentlemen?
Just sitting them around the city of Atlanta ain't but so big. We might bump into each other every now and then. Clubs.
were there occasions where you would say you hung out with more than two of the gentlemen that I just named at a time?
Could you repeat that?
Did you ever hang out?
Yes. All right, I'm gonna need you to use your mic, okay, so I can even hear that you're making an objection.
Form of the question, which gentleman?
Sustain, rephrase, please.
Yes. Of the gentlemen that are Shannon Stillwell, Diamante Kendrick, Rodelius Ryan, Kenneth Copeland, Demikion Garlington, Jeffrey Williams, Quintavious Greer, Marquavius Huey, Quindarius Zachary, Quamarvius Nichols, if I haven't said his name. Did you ever hang out with two or more of either of them?
What you mean by hang out?
Man, that's a trick question.
You can hang out many ways.
What are some of the ways that you would call hanging out?
I never hung out with Ruby. I never hung out with Ryan.
Okay.
Been at Jeffrey shows, me and Kendrick at the studio, places like that.
Okay. And have you ever hung out with two or more of the people in the courtroom today at a time, at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. Under what circumstances?
Video shoots, music videos, club.
Is it only at video shoots and music videos that you've hung out with?
I just said clubs.
And which two have you hung out with at the same time that are in the courtroom today?
What you said only two, right?
Which two or more that are in the courtroom today have you hung out with?
Kendrick, Jeffrey, Stillwell.
Judge, I'm going to object to the relevance of whether you hung out with several people and ask for a curative instruction with regard to it's not illegal to hang out with anybody in the world.
All right, that's a speaking objection, and it is overruled.
Thank you. Since you asked my definition of hangout, would you please tell the jury what your definition of hangout is?
We didn't actually fully develop that, so I'm going to overrule that objection.
Would you please
Could you repeat it?
Yes. Would you please tell the jury what your definition of hangout is?
We hung out and had fun together, enjoy our life.
Did you all ever work together?
Yes.
Doing what?
Like when we go on tour.
And when you say like when we go on tour, who is the we that you are referring to?
I've been on tour with all three of them.
All three being Mr. Kendrick?
Mr. Kendrick, Williams, and Stillwell.
And what were you doing while you were working on tour with Mr. Kendrick, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Stillwell?
For YSL, the record label, I was head of security at once upon a time.
Head of security?
Yes.
Did you receive a paycheck?
Yes.
And who signed that paycheck?
It didn't get signed. It got sent from the company YSL to our bank account.
Okay. Did you have employees working under you?
No, I only pick, like when we go to different states, I only pick the security guards. And if they weren't doing their job properly, I sent them on too.
Where did you pick the security guards from?
For whatever security company they had.
When you say from whatever security company they had, who is the they that you are referring to?
Whatever security company in that state we was in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the company's names or none of that.
How long was it your job to pick security personnel for Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Kendrick, and Mr. Williams?
Seems faster than that. He was selected security for it.
The testimony being that he did security for Mr. Stillwell.
I mean, he said he worked on tour with all of them. My recollection is that he worked on tour for all of them as head of security. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, or flesh that out, Lord.
When you said that you, Mr. Kendrick, Mr. Stillwell, and Mr. Williams worked together, would you please tell the jury what that consisted of?
Well, I worked it for Mr. Jeffrey Williams, not Mr. Kendrick or Shannon Jackson.
And just to clarify, you mean Shannon Stillwell, who is also known as Shannon Jackson?
Yes.
So what were Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Stillwell doing while you were working security for Mr. Williams?
Kendrick's an artist.
Okay.
And Shannon used to be with us but trying to become an upcoming artist.
Is it fair to say then that Mr. Kendrick was performing while you were?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. And Mr. Stillwell was doing what exactly while you were working?
He probably doing other things like selling merch for Jeffrey Williams, setting up the merch.
Now, when you say the merch, what is it that you mean?
Like selling T-shirts, hats.
And were those T-shirts and hats merchandise with the name Jeffrey Williams on it or something else?
Well, I said.
So when Mr. Stillwell was on tour with you, Mr. Kendrick, and Mr. Williams, was that his only job to sell merch?
No, we all did different things. We probably like helped with the clothing. We all did different things. We all just supported Jeffrey in any way we could.
For all coupon savings. So move to pretty much she wants him to get a hold of. Did it work? If you can't see it, you just got here. Here's a stick. Keep poking it through as the water. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So yeah, Mooktook was just pretty much oh yeah, this is the one right here. Slimelife Shawty testifies in Young Thug. So yeah, as a Mooktook's that was the beginning of his testimony on the YSL trial. But I want to take a look at Slimelife Shawty testifies in Young Thug Wise. This was today. So they left off crazy today with Slimelife Shawty being asked to go outside of the courtroom because he mentioned something that was redacted in the paperwork, right? So he mentioned that actually, well, let's watch it. Let's go break it down. So this is Slimelife Shawty. He's an artist on YSL, and he is going to break it down. Oops, wrong one.
One in Lee, W-U-N-I-E, last name Lee, L-E.
And good afternoon. How old are you?
25.
And are you employed for work?
Music.
And when you say you do music, what do you mean?
I make music.
What type of music do you make?
Hip hop. Hip hop.
Do you have a name that you perform under?
Slimelife. Slimelife Shawty.
And are you signed to a record label?
Yes.
What label?
Alamo Records.
And when did you first sign to Alamo Records?
2018.
And I should ask, how long have you been in the music industry?
Since then.
Since 22. Have you been signed to any other label besides Alamo?
No.
Where are you from originally?
Atlanta.
And what part of Atlanta?
Southside. Cleveland, Avenue.
And did you go to school?
Yes.
Where did you go to school? Elementary, middle, and if you went to high school?
Cleveland Avenue Elementary School.
Mm.
You said middle school too?
Yes, sir.
Crawford Lawn Middle School.
Okay.
And Carver High School.
Carver?
Yeah, Carver High School.
Carver. After leaving high school, is that when you started your music career?
During high school, like my last year in high school, or like 11th grade or something. I didn't get serious till after high school though.
You said you didn't get serious until after high school?
Yeah.
And that was around that 2018 year we just talked about?
Yeah.
Okay. As you were growing up in the Cleveland Avenue area, did you ever hear of a gang called Rock Crew?
I heard of it growing up. I didn't know if it was a gang or what it was, but yeah, I know what it is.
And how did you know about Rock Crew?
Because they had popular songs.
What were some of their songs that they had that were popular?
I don't know by heart right now. I just knew like there was the music back then.
Do you know who were some of the artists who were with Rock Crew?
One of them, Big Boo.
And he was he performing as a hip hop artist?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
It was some younger people too, like my friends and stuff.
Who are some of the younger people?
They locked up or dead.
Do you have names of some of those individuals?
Let me see. My partners who locked up right now, Twin, they used to rap.
Do you know their given name or
Their first and last name?
Or their first name?
Nah.
Anyone else outside of Twin?
Rudy. He rapped too back then when we was younger.
Anyone else you can think of?
That's crazy.
Big Boo. Did you know his given name?
His real name? No.
Okay. And did you have your own personal relationship with Big Boo?
Yeah, when I got older.
Now, did there come a time when you were younger that some members of Rock Crew began calling themselves YSL?
Mm-hmm.
You said, mm-hmm?
You asking me that? Or you what?
I'm asking you.
Can you say it again?
Sure. As you got older, were there members of Rock Crew who then became members of YSL?
Yes.
Who were those some of those individuals?
Everybody, because YSL music took off and Rock Crew music died, or just, I don't know. Boo got old, so I don't know.
So who are some of these people? You're saying everybody. So who's the everybody who was a part of the music?
Basically everybody from my neighborhood.
So everybody from your neighborhood was doing music?
There's a lot of people from doing music from my neighborhood though, but not everybody was doing music though. I'm just saying like everybody in the whole, all the people that were rapping, or doing music or supported the music was on some YSL stuff now. Like, it wasn't rapping Rock Crew or under that name.
Okay. So tell me some of the people that we're talking about.
Me, myself.
Okay.
My friends who I just told you about. Jeffrey. I can't think of everybody's name.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bypass the little ad real quick. Man, if you're watching Hip Hop Heist, man, I'm burnt. I meant to say if you're watching, hit the like and subscribe. We here again watching the Young Thug trial day 50, possibly mistrial, which I believe we'll find out tomorrow. But for now, we are going to study day 150. That's a check. That's a mark. Day 150.
And what does YSL stand for?
It has multiple meanings.
Tell me some of the meanings.
I say it has multiple meanings, definitions, or what it stands for.
So tell me some of the meanings.
Young stoner life, young slime life, young successful lifestyle. I think that's all I can remember right now.
So let's talk about young stoner life.
Mm-hmm.
When do you distinguish between young stoner life, young slime life, and young successful lifestyle?
You said when? Did I?
Yeah, how do you distinguish between the two? When do you use young stoner life versus young slime life?
Slime part is just like the lingo of it. Like, we'll just call each other or something. You wouldn't call your friend or something like, Stoner, what's up, Stoner? We just say like, what's up, Slime or something. So that's how I think young slime life is used. Young stoner life, from what I know, was I'm just say like a way of life as far as music. I mean, not the music, but like getting high or like a hippie or I don't know.
And outside of the music, is YSL a gang?
You said outside of the music?
Yes, sir.
Some people treat it like that.
What do you treat it as?
I treated it that way before.
You treated it as a gang before?
Yeah.
When did you stop treating it as a gang?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
You just don't remember. And when you say you treated it as a gang, what do you mean?
I don't really know. I never thought about that. I don't know how to answer that.
How old were you when you joined YSL, the gang?
Can you tell me what you mean by like join? Like, are you talking about?
I don't know.
What would you consider joining?
I'm saying, like, do you mean join like, because you know, like to get in the gang, you join the gang, like you get beat up or something like that.
How did you become a member of YSL?
My music got popping and I became a known face in my neighborhood. And I started coming around and going to studios and stuff.
So was that how you became a part of the gang YSL, or that's how you became affiliated with the music of YSL?
I'm going to say that's how I became affiliate of the music of YSL. But as far as joining a gang or something like that, I never like joined. We just all grew up together. There was no time to join or when I joined. We just all know each other from school and grew up together and stuff like that. But I mean, I came around like 20, I forgot, was 2019 or 18, one of those years, when I came around as far as like officially being YSL.
How do you become officially YSL?
Just coming around more and rapping.
Is everyone that is affiliated with, and I'm talking specifically the gang YSL, rappers?
Some people.
So, but not everyone?
Some people rap. A lot of people rap, but everybody doesn't take it serious. Some people just rap just to, because they want to rap, because they want to follow the trend.
I definitely understand that, but I want to ask specifically, is everyone who's a part of YSL a gang trying to rap or rappers?
Can you say it again?
Sure. Is everyone who is a part of YSL the gang rapping or try to be rappers?
I don't know. I think so. Everybody try to rap.
Is there anyone in YSL, the gang, who's not trying to rap?
Yeah. You think?
Now I'm going to ask if you know a few people, okay? Do you know Marquavius Huey?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you know him?
I didn't know his real name until now, until this trial, but how do I know him? Me and his little brother went to school together. Me and his little brother was in the same class. And I always just knew he had a big brother named Quay. And I seen him a couple times, stuff like that.
And is that what you called him, Quay?
Yeah, I think that's what his name used to be back then.
Okay. And you said you went to school with his little brother. Do you know how old he is, Quay?
Quay? How old he is?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Did you ever used to hang out with Quay?
When?
At any time?
Not growing up. He came to the studio with me a couple times. That's it. We never hung out outside of the studio.
When did you start seeing him around the studio? About, if we're in 2024, how long ago was that?
I don't know. I can't remember the exact date.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yeah.
Okay. If you just identify him by article of clothing he's wearing.
You said identify what?
Identify him by article of clothing he's wearing.
He next to the lawyer with the brown. I think he got on brown too.
Okay. Thank you. Your Honor, let the record reflect that he's identified Mr. Huey.
It'll say reflect.
Do you know another individual by the name of Quamarvius Nichols?
Yeah.
Or another Quay?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes.
And how do you know, how long have you known Quay?
I know him longer, I think, since I was a kid. We didn't hang though, but I just knew who he was. I was younger than him though.
Okay. And do you have a friendship or a relationship with him?
Not a strong bond, but we know each other.
Mm-hmm. And do you see him here today?
No, actually. Oh yeah, I see him now.
And you identify him as well?
I can't see what he got on. He just got the dreads up.
Okay.
In the air.
And all right. Is he towards the back of the room, the front of the room, or somewhere
the back.
else?
So he's just identifying right now.
Is he sitting in between anyone?
Yeah, I think he's a lawyer.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that he's
He's a lawyer right there. He writing his lady on the same.
right now. Let the record reflect. Your name Shannon.
Yes.
And do you know him, Shannon? Okay. Do you want anything else, or Shannon?
I think I did.
How long have you known Shannon?
I don't remember. I don't remember when I met him.
Is it longer than you've known Quay, the two Quays?
No.
Shorter than that.
Yeah.
And what is your relationship like, if any, with him?
Now?